Welcome to the Strivecast.
Episode 14.
14.
We have an exciting guest host today. Our usual co-host, Jeff, is on vacation in Florida.
The Jeffster is away.
Jeffster is away on vacation. Who do we have with us today? What is your name?
Susie Cloutier.
Susie Cloutier, welcome to the Strivecast. Thank you for filling in. Are you excited to be here?
Kind of.
Excited to have you as part of the Strivecast team.
Absolutely.
But right now, I'm nervous.
You're a little nervous.
Nothing to be nervous about.
Yeah.
You'll do great.
You're going to do great. It's going to be a great day, right? Our guest today is Mr. Tom Talbott, who we know from our partnership with Patriot Subaru. Noel, do you know what we do at Patriot Subaru every year? What event do we do there?
Kevin on the roof.
On the roof.
Absolutely. We just wrapped up a great Share the Love event with Patriot as well. We were fortunate to be one of their local charity beneficiaries. So we're indebted to them for that.
Absolutely. And I'm sure we will talk about it in the interview with Tom, but we also just had CNN come to Portland to do a story about Strive and our partnership with Patriot Subaru and Kevin on the Roof and all that as part of the CNN Heroes program. So that was really exciting. So you can check that out online as well.
Tom also has a long history with radio, so I'm sure we'll get into that. And maybe he has some advice for us as we sort of delve into our future radio career.
Where is he?
He'll be here very shortly.
Can't wait. Some housekeeping events we just want to get to before we get into our interview is that, guys, what big Strive event is coming up in March?
Dance Marathon.
Strive weekend.
2019.
I know they call it Strive Dance Marathon, but it's really Strive Rocks.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because it's
Strive
a weekend
Rocks.
long
It's
event.
much more than just dancing.
That's right.
Something for everyone.
That's right. Okay. And so we talked about it a bit last week, but we'll talk about it again. We're going to talk about it much more
Mark
as it
your
gets
calendars.
closer.
March 16th into the 17th.
Yep. Saturday, March 16th at the Cross Insurance Arena in Portland.
And the afternoon one, they have a petting zoo.
That's right.
That's correct.
So it's Drive Rocks all day, family-friendly festival with a petting zoo, face painting, bounce castles,
and
live music, food.
And Miss Main.
And Miss Main sometimes makes a visit.
In a petting zoo, as Noel
yes,
mentioned.
of course.
What about clowns?
We have not had clowns yet, but that's a great idea.
And
are you afraid
trains.
of clowns?
We have lots of trains from our friends at Main Garden Railway Society.
That's right. Thank you.
Barney the dinosaur.
Barney the dinosaur probably won't make an appearance, I would guess.
Tickets are on sale for that now on our website. I got mine yesterday.
That's right, you did. Thank you, Pete.
You're welcome.
StriveRocks.org for
That's right.
tickets and more information.
What about live band?
Live bands,
Live bands, that's
especially.
right. We just
especially
booked
for the night,
some yesterday for our nighttime event. So as Noel was saying, there's a dance marathon in the evening that we have where local high schoolers and college students and Strive participants and Strive staff and volunteers, we all get together and we stay up all night raising money for Strive. So it is a momentous weekend and we can't wait to have it get closer and closer as the winter goes on. So, without further ado, we will dive right into our interview with our friend Tom Talbott from Patriot Subaru.
And we'll be right back with Tom Talbott.
The Strive team met Tom Talbott through his work with Patriot Subaru as its marketing director. However, he does much more than that. As the president of Talbott Marketing, Tom has run a full-service marketing company for nearly 30 years. Tom started working in radio while attending Union College in New York, as then he went into radio, sales, and marketing management in Boston, Portsmouth, and Portland. In addition to running his own ad agency, Tom is a past president of the Portland Rotary Club, a volunteer coach for the Special Olympics, and is very involved in our community. After growing up in Connecticut, Tom now lives in Golden. He enjoyed lacrosse and football, and even raises alpacas.
Please welcome Tom Talbott. All right, Noel. Noel, you have the first question.
How did you decide you wanted to be in the marketing?
Well, I started in radio, and I always enjoyed radio from my very youngest days, probably because my father was in advertising. And I was on a commercial when I was about 8 or 9 years old. They needed a young boy to be on a radio commercial for a local car dealership. And so we recorded it on a tiny little tape recorder, and the commercial aired on the local radio station. And of course, hearing my voice on the air was, I thought, just the most amazing thing in the world, that other people were listening to me. So I kind of, moved in that direction. I got into college and started working at the radio station, and came out of school and realized that's what I wanted to do. It was after working in radio for 10 years that I decided that, the advertising and marketing field was another opportunity. And so I started my own ad agency, and that was 1989. It does seem like yesterday, but that's how I kind of wove my way into the field.
That's pretty cool, right, Suze?
Yes, it is.
All right, your first question, Susie.
What? I know.
Oh, okay.
What is your average day like?
My average day? I work with clients who I handle advertising and marketing needs for. And then I spend a lot of time with other people who are in media. Maybe they're in television or radio, or a lot of folks in obviously the digital field these days, who they're representing their companies and businesses and want my clients to advertise on their various outlets. So I spend a lot of the day on the phone. I write about 8 million emails a day, and I spend time with clients and with media people.
Nice. Pete, you can't relate to that at all, sending 8 million emails a day, can you?
Exactly, yeah.
It's your turn, Noel.
Thank you, Susie. Noel, you're up.
Yeah.
All business.
Yeah.
We like it.
How did you get involved with Patriot Subaru?
So with Patriot, they were opening their business back in 2003. And to be perfectly honest with you, I was not pursuing them. I wasn't really looking for an automotive business to work with. I had worked with many previously, and I wasn't really I kind of had enough of my car dealerships to work with. But someone recommended me, actually a good friend of mine, Karen Hill, who works at WBLM, and she recommended me to the owner who was in town and who had made some calls. And his name was Adam Aarons, and he called me up and asked me if if I would be interested in talking, and I said, okay. And I have to say that, Adam, is a very unique and different person. He has great insight and great vision. And as I was sitting there talking to him, I was liking what I was hearing, from this fellow I'd never met before, and it worked out. He offered me an opportunity, and I said, yeah, let's go for it. And I was on board, with his vision on day one. Obviously, it, like everything else, evolves, and you have growing pains, but enjoyed it, and now I'm Patriot Blue.
15 years later, still,
Yeah.
Yes,
still going strong.
That's awesome. We're glad that you are.
thank you.
When you first heard that Straub had a guy who wanted to camp on the roof of Patriot Subaru, what did you think?
I thought it was a great idea. I mean, I love promotion. I love events that get people excited and turn heads. And having someone who is willing to do something a little bit crazy, to help others, was just a great idea. So it was never, ever like, oh, I don't know. It was like, yeah, so let's do it, and then we'll figure it out later,
Yeah.
But he already had some experience with it, so, we had a...
That same philosophy,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think. Let's
yeah.
do it and figure it out later.
Yeah, exactly.
Served
So
him well.
it was great.
Well, we're glad that you think so,
Yes.
and the off-air answer would have been, that's a crazy idea.
No.
Certainly. I think you're up. Thanks, Susie. Always on it.
Patriot Subaru is very involved in the community. Why is that important?
Well, I think it is part of an overall vision and philosophy. If you're taking care of business, that means you're taking care of your people. And if you take care of your people, you can, by extension, take care of your customers better. I mean, if your people are happy inside, they're going to take better care of your customers. And if your customers are happy, you're going to take care of your business. And now you can start to expand that into taking care of your community. And that's, that's so important if you want your business to grow. So, we look at it as, just part of the overall opportunity that we have, it's more than just giving back. It's fulfillment. It's being a part of something. You can't measure yourself in terms of, the number of dollars you make, number of cars sold. I think you can measure it by the number of people who you have made happy. And again, are your employees happy? So you take care of them. Then take care of your customers. Take care of your family. Take care of the community. And so, I guess I've always looked at it as like, it's kind of the camping scenario. If you rent a campsite and you go there and you join it, you should leave it in a better condition than it was when you got there. Yeah. And so Patriot Subaru, I think, has always had a vision of, leaving, we won't be here forever. We're all getting old, we're all moving on. The business will be passed on to other people. And we hope that, we've taken good care of it while we've been, involved, and we want to, leave it in a better condition than it was when we started, and hopefully they carried on too, and that's what we do. So that's maybe a different answer than you were expecting, but I think the community is just, what we do is at the core of what we believe in.
Yeah, and even the mission is a little different.
The mission is
many
2
car
words,
dealerships,
essentially.
Yeah.
The mission statement is to serve. And when you think of the mission statement of a company, it's usually a long-winded, carefully wordsmithed paragraph, that no one can ever remember, and certainly no one at the business can ever recite. But everyone at Patriot Subaru, if you ask them what our mission statement is, they'll know what it is.
Definitely.
Yeah, we've seen that firsthand.
Absolutely. We do spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, which is great. We love that.
Susie's looking to move on.
She
Who's
is
moving on?
ready.
See,
The clock. I like that.
and she visited Patriot Subaru a couple of months ago. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. So, CNN has a national program called Heroes, CNN Heroes, and they like to profile people, regular everyday people who are doing things above and beyond to help others and help their community. And Subaru, as a national organization, has always been about giving back and always been about caring for other people. Their Share the Love program is now in its, I hope I don't get this wrong, I believe the 12th year. Some $140 million donated.
Huge number.
Yeah.
And to national organizations, as well as working with all the Subaru dealers across the country to give back locally. So anyway, the Share the Love event was fully underway this past November and December, and during that period of time, CNN sent a film crew to Patriot Subaru to talk to us about our program with Strive. Really, the show was about Strive. It was not about Patriot Subaru, which is really exactly the way we wanted it. I mean, and so they talked to us about what it's like to have a guy on the roof, and why did you do that? And then, rightly so, the program really focused on Kevin, and then on one of your participants, Molly, and that is what made it a real piece. Seeing what you do here, to help others, and what the end result of that is. And so, the great strides that Molly has made, in her life, and with her mom, and it just made it a wonderfully beautiful piece.
Yeah, we were really pleased with how it came out.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
it was beautiful.
Yeah, and if you would like to check out that video, if you haven't seen it yet, it's available on our Facebook page, at Strive's Facebook page, and Patriot Subaru's, and
On our website.
On our website too. Noel, I believe you are up next.
Yeah. Can you tell us about your time in radio?
Much of it can't be discussed these days, because there were some really good times. If you're familiar with the show WKRP, okay, it's real.
Yeah.
And I loved being in radio. It's just a marvelous field where you can be extremely creative, and I came up through the sales side. So I was Herb Tarlick, a young version perhaps, but we had the various places where I worked at, always a great group of people who had some excellent times together. Selling radio is a difficult task, because you are out there saying, here's something that I can't really show you what it is, and I absolutely can't guarantee it's going to work.
Right.
But I'd like you to spend some money with me, and we'll go from there. So the creating of the commercials, I was very involved in. I wrote hundreds and hundreds and produced hundreds of commercials, and you'd produce those on spec. You'd create something, and then you'd go to the business and say, here's what we put together for you based on what we talked about, and let's get this on the air.
Yeah.
And I'd say, see what happens. You don't want to say that, but it was great working with advertising clients and getting results for them. Didn't always work, but it did.
Probably more
And
so
it's-
than
more so than not. I love the field of radio where you can use words to create a picture. You're using imagination. With TV, there's the product, and you make your own, your own decision, right there. Whereas in radio, you can create this almost fantasy about what it is you're doing or what it is you're selling, make it bigger than life, and it's powerful.
We just recently got contacted about an opportunity for the Strivecast to go on the radio that we're trying to navigate through, and a big part of that is
Great.
tracking down some advertisers. So we might pick your brain off the air
Yeah.
about that a little bit as well.
Would be
But
exciting.
we're excited about that opportunity for these guys
Yeah.
to take the show to a larger audience.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for?
What is the
us?
size of this audience here?
It's getting bigger.
And
Just
more-
It depends on we're on all the platforms.
Right.
So we're on iTunes and Stitcher and
Spotify.
Libsyn, and then we put it on all of our social media pages. One of our recent episodes had about 12,000
Nice.
listens on Facebook alone. So it's hard to exactly tell. That was Senator King's, so that might be larger than some, but we've had a really good response, and I think it keeps growing every time we're gaining subscribers, and I think it's getting bigger and better.
Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely. Susie's.
Time for some football. Who is going to be in the Super Bowl this year?
Great question.
Very, very good question. In the NFL, it's very hard to predict, which I enjoy. I mean, on any given Sunday, anyone can win. So, dodging the question.
The future in politics.
Well, I have to say that on the NFC side, New Orleans is certainly the favored, and right now I would have to lean toward them. Football's a game of matchups, so you can look great one week and then not so great the next. I'll go with New Orleans on the NFC. Now the AFC is tougher. Kansas City certainly jumped out, to be an early favorite, but I find their defense to be rather suspect. I'm not so sure they're going to have the muscle to get in. And then you've got some dark horses. Houston. Is Tennessee in this thing?
No, I think Indianapolis beat them.
Indianapolis, that's what they're on a roll. They're looking really good. Now, you never want to count out the local team, the Patriots, all right? Because they have, just the ability to, I think, always be better prepared, going into any game situation. You just can't deny that.
I can hear my mom cheering at home.
Yeah,
That's
so-
right.
So certainly, they will be in the hunt. Obviously, they've lost some of their firepower on offense, and so that's going to be difficult. Tom Brady, obviously he knows where to move the ball, but does he have enough around him this year to do that? Defense has been strong. They have home field advantage, so hopefully they can exercise that. We'll see. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be fun.
I can't wait. You root for the Patriots, Noel?
Oh, yes.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'll get his shirt.
You have a Tom Brady jersey?
Yes,
Nice.
I do.
Lucky you. You're up here.
You coach Special Olympics teams. How did you get involved?
So I have coached Special Olympics football, and I've probably been doing that, I'm going to have to guess, but maybe 7 or 8 years.
Oh.
And I got into it kind of backwards. Actually, they were there was an article or an ad in the paper about football getting together at the Gorham Sports Center it was some Sunday morning like that. And I live in Gorham, and I live literally about 3 minutes away from the sports center. And I was like, oh, great, I'm going to go play football. Which, what I enjoy doing. So I went down there thinking I was going to play. And when I got there, I realized, this is
Not for
different.
me.
Well, but I was like, what's going on? And I met Judy, and I'm going to forget her last name right now.
Yeah.
But she told me what was going on. And I said, wow, that's pretty cool. How can I help? I'd like to help. And I'm not going to hold back when I get into football, and I jumped right into it, and there I was coaching, and really enjoying it. It's such a great group of people. You've got, parents and caretakers, advisors, all around who, really love seeing their son or daughter involved in something like that. And then for all the the folks who are playing, it's very hard to describe just how much fun they're having, except I'm probably having equal or more. So I just got into each, okay, what's the name of our team today? And we have a whole assortment of names. We pick one, and we we play. And for someone who played football at a very young age and played through college, football is not an easy sport to how do you say? What is a line of scrimmage?
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
It doesn't.
Pretty detailed.
It doesn't make much sense, really. Are you over on that side? We're on this side. We're on offense. You're on defense.
Right. Line of scrimmage is not really a
four
line.
plays later, it's like, all right, no, we're on defense now. And so you start to take a different look at things, and I think in many ways that helped me, and not just football, but in a lot of things. It's like taking a different perspective, seeing it through the eyes of someone else. And so we're not running a complicated offensive set out
offense,
there.
yeah.
But what's important is that everyone is participating, everyone touches the ball.
Yeah.
My goal is always to get everyone a touchdown.
Yeah.
And what I've also enjoyed is that other folks have come in, like the Gorham high school football coach, Andy Hager, got involved this year and brought some of his assistant coaches and a lot of the players down there.
Right.
And so, and this has actually been very much a tradition of the Olympic football, Special Olympics football, where different high school kids participate, and so they see things from a different different angle.
Yeah.
Getting them involved in it and seeing maybe many of them for the first time, they're helping others to achieve things, and seeing how much the high school kids enjoy that. Yeah, I think is really important.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Susie, you're gonna close it out, okay?
We just learned that you raise alpacas.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
So I have been raising alpacas now for 10 years or so, maybe more.
Wow.
And we have it's a small group right now. I only have four boys. At the height of it, I had 18 alpacas.
Wow.
And, so they're an interesting animal. It's you're looking at an animal that's average of 150 pounds. So it's modestly big, and it has a mind of its own. They're not domesticated animals, meaning that they don't necessarily warm up to you quickly. But when you're with them every single day, multiple times a day, taking care of them, taking care of their needs, it's a very rewarding and very humbling. You know, I would get up every morning very early, and you know, you'd be out there cleaning up things.
Yeah.
And you know, you're doing that before work. And then I have the fortune of having my office right there at my house, so I can do, you know, I was able to, you know, kind of take care of things during the day if I needed to. But you know, you go out and you're doing some business things don't go right, you know, and you're all and then you're going and you're shoveling out, you know, the poop, and that brings you right back down to,
Right.
you know. But I really enjoyed it, and or I still, you know, still have it going. It's great.
That's really cool.
That's awesome. It's a fun fact we didn't know about
Fun
you.
facts.
That's right.
All right, so those were all the formal questions that we had for you, and now it is
Get
time
ready
for
for the
the
lightning
lightning
round.
round.
World famous lightning round.
Your first time doing the lightning round song. Are you ready?
Here we go. Introduce the lightning round.
Ready? Lightning round, lightning
Lightning
round, lightning round, lightning round, lightning round.
Noel, ready?
Tons of energy this morning, Noel. You got the first one.
Oh, Maine or
Connecticut.
Connecticut?
Gotta go Maine.
Nice. Susie?
Football or lacrosse?
That's a hard one for me, but I have really fallen in love with lacrosse,
Ooh.
and that.
Patriot.
Oh, wait, let him finish. Go on. More you want to say about lacrosse?
You know, I grew up playing football, but I started playing lacrosse in college, and now coach year-round with 207 Lacrosse, a great program here in Portland. I coach with the Gorham Middle School during their season. And what I love about lacrosse is that it combines so many sports. I mean, it has all of what I ever enjoyed about football. You know, there's contact and there's wide open running, but it's, you know, it combines basketball and soccer and hockey and football and, you know, even baseball. I mean, well, I mean, well, the way you hold the stick, the way you throw it is really like throwing a ball. You know, it's just you have an extension of your arm now.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool.
Love it.
All right, now your turn.
Patriot Subaru or New England Patriots?
Oh, let's see. One who I enjoy or one who pays me. Gotta go with Patriot Subaru there, no question.
Great answer.
Sticking with Subaru. Cross track.
Cross track or Outback?
Well, I've had two Outbacks.
Okay,
Oh.
there we go.
So the cross track is great, but I've had a need for the larger style.
Now you can go even larger, right?
Yeah, well, the Ascent is the 8-passenger, and I do not have to go that far.
You're good.
I'll have to change.
No.
Could fit 4 alpacas.
Yeah.
That's true. I have had alpacas in the back of the Subaru before.
Really?
Yes.
Is that a lot to clean up
I've had
after?
alpacas in my kitchen before.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Oh my god.
Would you put alpacas in your car, Susie?
Yes.
Oh, you would?
What about your kitchen?
Heck no.
Okay.
Good answer.
Car, yes. Kitchen, no.
Now we're veering it off car and more towards ice cream.
Vanilla or strawberry?
Or strawberry.
I'm going to go strawberry. Chocolate wasn't on the list, though.
No chocolate.
Not sure.
I'm going to have to lobby for chocolate.
If Jeff was here,
He would.
chocolate would be on the list.
Absolutely.
Suze?
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Interesting. I'm not much of a traveler. I tend to be a home body. But if I could go anywhere, I guess right now maybe I would choose England.
Ooh.
I think I
Good
would
choice.
travel there. That would be enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely.
That sounds fun.
That was a challenging question for me.
How about you, Noel?
My wife's listening, going, "Oh,
Yeah,
where are we
we're
going?"
Yeah.
Can't
Noel,
wait.
what do you think? Where would you go?
Where would you go?
If you could go anywhere in the world.
Orlando, Florida.
How about you? You could go anywhere in the world.
Boston.
Boston. All right.
What about you, Pete?
I don't know.
Yeah, the guy with your pick.
I think I'd just like a weekend at home.
Oh, come on!
Yeah.
What's your favorite?
Right, with my family. Weekend at home
Oh,
with my
come
family.
on!
She wants to know
I'll
where
go to
you-
Boston too.
Perfect.
All right.
You're going with Susie.
Yeah.
Good one. All right, now we're going back towards
Susie?
animals.
Oh, cows or horses?
Cows or horses? Horses.
Horses. Good one.
All right. That's my
I've
favorite.
never ridden a cow.
All right, Susie, you got 2 this time.
No, I think you're right.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Kevin on the roof or Kevin on the ground?
Well, I've always looked up to Kevin, figuratively speaking. So I do like Kevin on the roof, although he's great in person too. So
Yeah.
We feel the same way.
We
like him.
agree. Okay.
I think this is the last
one,
one.
Yeah.
This is a good one, right?
Where was the Kevin?
That was Susie's, so now we're on to you.
But where do we see
I
it?
didn't write it down.
Oh. If we were making a movie about your life, who would you play?
Who would play you?
oh my God, who would play me?
For reference, Noel said Brad Pitt would play him. So,
Yes,
the field is
I
wide
can see
open.
that. I can see
How about you, Suze? Who would play you?
Yeah.
We were making a movie about your life.
Brian.
Brian from Strive?
No, from
Backstreet Boys?
yes, Backstreet Boys.
Interesting choice.
Yeah. I was going to say Sandra Bullock, but Brian from the Backstreet Boys is good too.
Yep, he is so hot.
oh boy. Susie's fitting right into the Strivecast.
Exactly. All right, back to our guest of
Yeah,
honor. Who
yeah.
would play Tom
Oh,
Talbot?
see, I was hoping that they would
Veer
forget
away.
about me and pass it on. I have never.
Brian is
considered
unavailable at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, so is it too much to reach for to say like Harrison Ford?
No, that's good.
Would that be good?
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
That'd be good. All right, good.
You think that'd be a good fit?
I think I came out ahead on that one.
Yeah.
Perfect. Do you guys have anything else that you want to ask our guest Tom before he heads out today?
Not really.
Not really?
Not
What about
really.
you, Suze?
Anything else you'd like to?
I've had a great time, and I think what you're doing here is terrific, and you guys have been marvelous hosts, and I would be honored if I was ever invited to come again.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So,
Anytime.
a lot of fun.
Thank you for
Great
coming.
job.
I
Thank
appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
Cheers to Strive.
Yeah.
The Strivecast is brought to you by.
You're at here.
Your ad
Yes.
here.
Your ad here. We'd love to have your ad here. We've had some serious conversations with a local radio station about bringing the Strivecast to its airwaves in a great weekly time slot, and we'd like to talk to advertisers about making that happen. So if you're interested in getting together with us and advertising on the Strivecast, it'll be an opportunity to do it in multiple formats. All of our platforms, as well as a local radio station, which we can provide information on. Send us an email at strivecast@pslstrive.org.
Thank you. It's time for the
Question of the week.
You got this anymore?
Oh, question of the week. Okay.
We gotta get right into it.
Yeah, the question of the week
All business this
is,
morning.
how are you doing on your New Year's resolution? So today is January 7th, and I hope I got the date right.
No.
It's January 8th, you're right. Today is January 8th.
No.
And yup, it is January 8th.
We're 1
today.
week into the new year, week and 1 day into the new year.
I thought we'd just check in about how we're all doing on our New Year's resolutions. Pete, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
So far.
That's awesome.
Thanks for checking in.
No problem. Susie, how are you doing on your New Year's resolution? What was your resolution?
Well, losing weight
Losing
for
weight.
one.
Yeah.
And number two is I don't want everyone to tease me more about my new weight.
Well, how's that resolution coming?
not well.
Well, you've lost
Well, you
a
look
little
great.
weight.
I
You look
don't
great.
need to
Thank you.
lose weight.
Yeah, don't worry about it, right? You're all good.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm
Noel,
good.
how are you doing on your resolution?
Really well.
What was your resolution? I can't seem to recall.
You had several, I
Yeah,
think.
there was a lot.
Try to stay awake.
Try to stay awake during all our interviews.
But losing weight's better.
Yeah, good.
That's a good one.
I think staying awake is a good one too.
That's a real
Yeah.
good.
And I think he was eating healthy. Was that one of them?
Yeah.
Exercise.
Yes.
Yeah, same as me.
Yep, me too.
So I-
And if you are losing weight, you are running, walking, going swimming,
Those are all great ideas.
Yeah.
or going dancing.
Whoa.
Dancing is a good one.
Dancing is way to get your
Whoa.
boogie down.
Can't see it, but Susie is shaking in her chair right
Must
now.
be something about that seat.
that gets people up and moving.
And plus, if you do all that, you might not remind you to get a soda right from the machine.
That's right.
Right, don't hit up those vending machines. Keep up the good work, everyone. Well, I'm glad that we checked in, and if you want to tell us how your New Year's resolution is going, we could give you a shout out on next week's episode when we might check in again on these resolutions. So you can send us an email at strivecast@pslstrive.org. And we'll be right back. It's time for the Words of Wisdom segment. Noel, you want to do our new Words of Wisdom song?
Yep.
Go on.
Da 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 da.
It's like a waltz.
The words like a wake.
Words of wisdom.
Words of
with
wisdom.
Noel and
And
pinch hitting for Jeff. It's Susie.
Susie. So this week we thought we'd keep it, our guest was...
PC.
We will keep it PG for sure.
The whole Stripecast is always borderline PG.
Yeah, like
But-
you, Noel, look up.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. So our guest was, you heard, Mr. Tom Talbott, who works at Patriot Subaru. And so we thought we'd keep Words of Wisdom in the car family, and we'll talk a little bit about car safety. So Susie and Noel, do you guys have some tips on how to be safe in a car?
Yeah, always buckle up and be safety with kids in the car. And no drinking and sleeping in the car.
Yeah, no drinking and driving and no sleeping and driving.
Yeah.
Those are
Both
good
pretty
ones.
important.
Yeah.
Suze, any words of wisdom about cars?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
Well, speaking of cars, one in particular moment
One particular.
happened last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Well, one of my friends unbuckle
Uh-oh.
their seatbelt,
Uh-huh.
buckle up, or if you don't, I'll tell Peter
Don't
or
tell Pete?
Pete
Yeah.
or one of you two
Yeah.
or
Vila.
Rita, you better. What is not safe?
Not safe.
Not
That's
safe.
right. Okay. And that is our words of wisdom.
Thank you
for January 8th.
doing that, Susie.
We
We'll
live
be
here.
right back.
The Strivecast is brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Black-a-lally.
Okay. All right, it's time to wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Rack it up.
Rack
Rack
it
it
up
up.
today.
Here we go.
What a way to end the podcast this week. We want to give a big thank you to our guest, Tom Talbot, for coming on the Strivecast
And
this
our
week.
special guest host, Susie, for
Thank you,
filling
Susie.
the shoes of Jeffster and the Fizz himself.
Thank you, Suze. Did you have fun?
Yes,
Did you
I
enjoy it?
did.
Awesome. Well, we loved having you. You did a really great job.
Great.
We're not done yet, though. This is how we wrap it
Susie was
up.
getting ready to leave. So coming up on the Strivecast, our upcoming guests will be DeJuan Eubanks, who is the president of the Maine Red Claws. So that's going to be really exciting.
And former Harlem Globetrotter.
That's right.
Has some great stories to tell, I'm sure.
Yeah. So
Where is he?
he's at his office right now, but he's going to
Coming
come
up
in next week.
next week.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's going to be really fun to talk to him.
Is this Tuesday?
That'll be coming up next Tuesday. And then we are also going to be talking to John Jennings, who will be coming on after that. So Pete, you want to talk about John Jennings?
Yeah, John Jennings is the city manager for the city of Portland, Maine's largest city, and I'm sure he has lots of information that he'll be able to tell us about things that are coming up for Portland in 2019.
Can't wait. So that's what we've got coming down the pike, and also some exciting guests coming later in the month and in February. So, but as always, if you have guests that you'd like to hear on the Strivecast, please let us know. You can send us an email at strivecast@pslstrive.org and let us know who you'd like to hear Jeff and Noel, or Noel and Susie, or Jeff and Susie interview. And we will try our best to get them on there. We're still working on a WWE wrestler for our guy that wrote in asking for that.
Yeah, we're still working on that. I think that was Jake that wrote in about that.
Sure
And then,
was.
you guys, anybody else you want to interview?
Kendricks.
Anna
Anna
Kendrick.
Kendricks.
So we're gonna.
If anybody
try
has any
and
Anna
get
Kendricks
that.
What
connections.
Linda Massell.
And Adina Menzel from Frozen.
Two big guests
two very
that we'll
important
effort to
people.
get in
Yeah.
2019.
Anybody you want to interview, Susie?
Yes, I do.
Who?
This guy.
Pete Brown. We'll put him in the hot seat.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I know him,
What?
but I don't know how we're gonna get him.
You're also talking while you're stretching, so go ahead.
Danny from Greece.
Danny Zugo. So
Danny Zugo.
John Travolta?
Yeah.
Does have some main connections.
Does he really?
Yeah, if anybody has connections to John Travolta, we'll reach
We'll
out.
talk all about religion.
We also can do them over the phone.
I love him.
Great. Can't
Sounds
wait.
like a popular guess.
Yeah. All right.
I
well,
think that's about all the time we have for
I think
today.
all the time we have. Anything else you want to add before we go, you guys?
Bonky honky.
I don't know what that means. Susie, anything you want to add?
Well, yes, I do.
Oh, okay, make it quick.
For you.
For me. All right.
You be cute at our Super Bowl, and
We're gonna
you
cut this out.
do not eat any more of those peanuts.
Ah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Thank you for listening. Please share.
Thank you.
We'd also like to quickly thank our producer extraordinaire, Whitney, for booking all the guests and being the person who makes all of this happen, who is also doubling as our in-studio engineer today because Ryan is also out on vacation. So shout out to Whitney. Thank you for all you do. We couldn't do it without
Great
you.
job, Whit.
Way to go, Whitney.
Right,
Thank you.
girl.